All right, who's ready for the second speaker of the day? Come on, we got to get some enthusiasm in this room. All right, woo! Okay, so we have Scott Stroud. Scott, if you could come up and I'll introduce you. He is the lead UX strategist at NPR, and Scott has led some major product innovation design challenges for NPR since about 2006, using Agile, Lean UX, all of the fancy buzzwords that we like to say these days, and behavioral design methods. He's currently architecting a new responsive design player for NPR.org, and so we're going to hear a little bit about that and the NPR One app today. So, Scott, take it away.
Okay, so I'm going to start with a question. And this is the same question I start every user testing session I run at NPR with. How does public radio fit into your life? So I want you to take a few seconds to think about that. And would anyone like to volunteer to come up and talk with me about that? Come on up. Okay, so we're going to do like a little mock user research session. Let's see. Just grab this real quick. All right. Okay. Yeah, you sit down. All right. Whoa. A little acrobatics here today. So how does NPR, public radio rather, fit into your life, if at all? So I'm not going to assume it does.
I listen to a lot of public radio while I'm driving.
So how did you first discover public radio?
Scan button on the radio.
Okay, so you just found it on the sort of the low end of the dial.
Yep.
Okay, so did you ever, did your parents listen to public radio? Did you ever?
Nope, absolutely not.
Okay, great. And around when did you discover public radio?
Probably 18, 19-ish,
Okay.
right after high school.
So tell me about a typical day. Like, do you listen to public radio every day?
Yeah, I would say so. In the mornings when I drive to work, and then when I get to work, I don't listen to the radio anymore because I can't. And then when I leave work, I turn on the radio and listen to the radio.
Okay, so it's all pretty much in your car?
Yeah, pretty much on the
Part of your
commute. When I get home, it turns to Spotify, unfortunately, for
Okay.
public radio. But
Okay, great. So thanks to Gary.
Sure.
This would go on for many, many minutes, so this is not, we're going to cover a lot more. You can go back to your seat, thanks. So, thanks to Gary. So, a radio listener, right? So someone who listens to NPR on the radio. So I'm asking another question. What is innovation? What does it mean to you? Does anyone want to offer a definition for me? There we go. A new way of doing something? Okay. Anyone else?
That satisfies real needs in the real world.
Okay, something that satisfies real needs, so not just innovation for innovation's sake.
That's an improvement.
It's an improvement, okay? Anyone else? Right. Okay, so I also was interested in what this means because honestly, every time I hear someone say the word innovation, I don't know what the heck they're talking about. Because compared to what? What does that mean? You know, is it in relation to something else? Are you innovative? Have you been innovative in the past? Are you innovative right now? Are there any guarantee you're going to be innovative into the future? So this is a story from Planet Money. How many people listen to Planet Money? Wow, okay, that's quite a number of you. Do you listen to it just on the radio in your commute, for instance? Do you hear it? Or do you subscribe to the podcast? Podcast, okay, so a lot of podcast listeners. Do you listen to it in an app at all? Other than like a podcast? Okay. What app do you use?
Tune in.
Okay, so our app, all right. So a few different ways.
Tune in.
Tune in, okay. I use Overcast a lot. I also use NPR One. How many people use NPR One? How many people don't know what NPR One is? Wow, that's a lot of people, okay. So this is a story from Planet Money, an episode. So Planet Money a few years ago did a project where they wanted to make a t-shirt because they wanted to trace the manufacturing of that t-shirt from the very beginning, from picking the cotton all the way through the distribution and the arrival of the t-shirt at their offices. So this is one of those stories. So what do you think, and the title of this episode is The Humble Innovation at the Heart of the Global Economy. Can anyone guess what the humble innovation is that's at the heart of the global economy? What's that? Okay. Right, a box, right, a shipping container. How many of you, before you saw the headline, would have thought this is innovative? Okay, a few people. Why?
Solves a real problem.
Okay, solves a real problem.
Reduces cost, standardizes things.
Okay.
It moves from chaos towards standardization.
Okay, great. Yeah, exactly. So what we're hearing, I'm hearing sort of a definition for innovation evolving, but maybe if someone just saw this picture, would a couple of people raise their hand when they thought that that a box was innovative. So boxes.